San Diego Zoo.
But this is,
Behind the scenes.
Flamingos were originally here at the front of the
Flamingos.
zoo. But you can see that we've changed the pond a little bit. It now goes back a
The
little
lady's
ways.
taking us on a
Those are the
tour.
babies that are growing up. They're kind of like the teenagers right now.
And another one that the mallard, whatever they are.
But on our left, over here, you can see a walkway on the left. That's now the new area to get into New Heart of the Zoo. But we're gonna, I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Go around for New Heart.
This is the main gate, right?
This is the main gate here.
Main gate
And
into
then
zoo.
the exit is still
San Diego. The nicest
So I
zoos
didn't know if
around.
you were gonna, stay around for the tour. I brought you some maps, so you can kind of get acclimated if you wanted to stay afterwards.
Great, yeah, we were going to take a peek around and then tomorrow we also are taking the Kodak tour.
Oh, that's right. You're up at the Wild Animal Park.
Yeah,
Oh,
tomorrow.
that'll be nice. Really nice.
I got to go on one of them too, and that was amazing.
And that
Absolutely
has changed a
amazing.
lot. Now they're a lot more enjoyable because the sun isn't beating down on you so much. They actually have covers over the back part of the pool and place that tree in the center of it, more or less, and then build up exhibits around it so that there's a walkway below.
This is the monkey compound.
And there's a walkway up
We're getting a
above.
behind-the-scenes tour.
You can go ahead and see them up in the trees.
And this lady.
You get a lot of good visibility all the time. And this, we're actually on the outside of it, but you can still see how you can look in there. We'll have to see who's let out yet.
Just putting them out right now.
Oh, okay. Great. Let's go ahead and go around on this side and then we can look at the little boarding cake.
Tiger River. Heading in.
Look at you.
Oh, cute.
Whole family. Isn't this adorable?
Yeah.
So this whole exhibit area opened about a little. It's so funny when
Bornean
they were talking about doing
bearded
this exhibit,
pig.
They were talking about putting all these pigs in here.
Look at that pig with a beard.
Do people really like pigs that much? Because they're so cute. You get attached to them.
Looks a little bit like John Muir did in the good old days. Wow. John Muir.
Wrestling.
What a pig. Bohemian bearded pig.
Just looking out at everybody.
Oh, you got a really nice shot, like right through here.
Over here, Larry, take a shot.
Hold on. Okay, clouded leopard,
Larry,
huh?
look at here.
Let's see. Oh, there's the old leopard.
There's actually two in there.
There he
There's
is.
the other one at the base of the tree. You see his camouflage there?
There's that leopard.
Can you see it right here at the bottom of the tree?
Oh, yeah.
He's
coming down.
Yeah,
there he is. These guys, but I was out here the other morning, and
There
I
he
see
goes.
that they do walk around in the morning. Oh, look, he got up.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
He didn't like us looking at him, did he? There's one over here hiding under the
might
tree.
be coming up. The other one moved. It might be coming up there.
Oh, there's his
For
face right
protection.
there.
To protect the other one.
There's a clouded leopard.
Yes.
Oh,
And they're
yeah.
nocturnal, so we typically don't even see them during the day.
Oh, that's something.
There's also spot-nosed guenon in here, and the spot-nosed guenon has the baby, but I don't think they let them.
Oh my.
Oh no, there's the guenon over here. Spot-nosed guenon is over here.
Oh.
He actually has a spot. You can see him. He's in the tree there. He's got white under here.
Oh, I
He's got a
see him.
spot.
He's in the
White
tree. Let me
spot.
zoom in on him. There he is.
Now they have a baby.
White-nosed guenon. Boy. There's a baby with him.
Two.
With her or whichever.
Do you see the baby?
Yes. Hold on to its neck. It's scratching right now. It's
Oh,
up
I
there
see
with
it.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
on.
yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
it's on the back side.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it because I have a zoom.
I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there's the baby's right behind it.
That was
Yeah, it's right up
fantastic.
front.
Yeah.
It's right
Here's
in front
something.
of him.
There's something right up there.
So that's our first spot-nose glennon that we've had born in the new exhibit.
We're getting a bad shot of this one here. He decided to turn his back on me, I guess. There he comes. Yeah, look at that.
This one is black mandarin.
Black Mandibee. Wow.
These are what they call leaf-eating monkeys.
Leaf-eating monkeys. Fantastic. And here's one right here. Leaf-eating monkey, black mandibees. He's doing his thing. Doing his thing. Playing in the water.
Oh, crackers. I
He
thought
soaked his crackers. We'll call him Duncan. They always do that to me. I don't know what it is. Why in the world? Even the gorillas do that. There's Jody. She found a good spot to hide. Look at that. Now smile. All right.
They, had put together. So this is what they put together.
This is called the bog.
So they've got all of the little, but the plants.
And there are
Eating plants.
lots of rodents around, but I haven't seen any but one.
Yeah, yeah. Most of these plants are that type of a plant.
Can't find any rodents right now. But anyway, look at the beautiful plants. This is the bog. Kept damp all the time.
There's a beetle.
They have all these water plants growing in this area.
They're some neat plants.
Very exciting.
I thought that little mouse was part of the exhibit, so I seen it could get out.
I'm sure he is part of
Golden belly mandibees. Here comes one right now. Can't see him too good through the wire.
Yeah.
We'll get some more pictures a little bit later of him. He's a little tired today, not doing much.
And I don't know if you ever do
On the guenons.
Did you hear that about the diabetes when they taught him to put his hand to his sleeve so it can get its shot daily?
Is that right?
Yep.
They taught it how to get its own diabetic insulin.
well, that would give them some sort of a treat.
How about that? Huh.
The old monkey trick.
What they do is make it
Sociable weavers.
They actually moved it from another aviary, yeah. In fact, there they have a sample of an actual nest there.
Looks like a big beaver's place, huh?
Yeah.
See him, Joe?
Yeah.
We have a lot of other things in here.
Oh, yeah.
Powerful at first, but then
Here's the gorilla cages. There he is. Lowland gorillas. That's a female having her breakfast. The male's up here. Always turn his back on me. That's what they always want to do. Never can see him that well. Oh, he's busy eating too. There he goes, chomping away. That son of a gun, man. Is he huge or what? Ah, here comes his friend. Along behind here. That's quite the view. Getting excited now. Looks so sad. What's so sad about it? It's a nice enclosure you have there. Nice. He's just intent on looking for food. Yeah.
Maybe just stay there. I hope I get my deodorant.
Still chomping away.
Look at that bird going crazy.
Yeah, listen to the birds.
There was statues of these apes where you could climb up on the back of them.
Oh yeah, it was here.
I thought it was here.
We'll probably, I think it was here. The San Diego Zoo. There's Lonnie, main man of the tour. Watching the old ape.
The ones at Wild Animal Park, the one that they have is the male is bigger than that guy.
Look at this fish tank. Access, total access to the entire fish population. We found us a crocodile in here. Very photogenic. Posing for pictures. Actually looks like a caiman a little bit. I don't know if it's a crocodile or a caiman. See that snout in there with all those fish. Oh, poor fish. And then right next to them we have these guys. Hippopotamus or hippopotami. Isn't that something?
Finally, after 45 minutes, decided, put it up there. It was the cutest thing to watch.
Teeth.
I tried my battery and didn't bring a charger for it.
A lot of teeth there, boy.
Tiger compound area. Over here are Malayan tapir bedrooms. I'm sure did you guys walk down or did you drive them? Malayan tapirs are related to rhinoceros and horses. We have a mom and her kid. Kid was born November 28th of last year. So what are we looking at? 9 months-ish. There's actually 4 different species of tapirs. We have the Malayan in this area. We actually have Baird's tapirs over by our elephants. And then there's mountain tapirs and Brazilian tapirs as well. And this is kind of what a Malayan tapir looks like, if you're not familiar with them. The Malayans are the only ones that are actually half black and half white. The other 3 species are one solid coloration. Some have short hair, some have long hair, but usually they're all like a tan or a brownish coloration. But the Malayan are the only ones, and Malayan are the only ones that are Asian. All the rest are South American. So that's kind of what they look like. And like I said, you don't really see you can see the rhino in their feet, but the horse is kind of questioned all of this. But well, coloration, yeah, but But yeah, so they're, and the females can be about 800 pounds or so. Males usually can get to be about 9, maybe 1,000 pounds, or give or take. So they're pretty big animals, yeah. And they're herbivores, so they just eat like fruits, nuts, berries, veggies, stuff like that. So a lot of different types of browse, ficus browse and acacia browse and stuff like that. So, this is a cow femur bone. And we offer this to them twice a week. It helps with their dentition. Sometimes I'll crack that thing open and get the bone marrow out of that.
Whoa,
The
lion.
staple of their diet is this stuff. And what this is, you may recognize Dick Van Pant's Natural Balance, this emblem. What this is, it's made for zoos throughout the country, matter of fact throughout the world. It's a carnivore meat. It's a beef-based meat that has all the vitamins and minerals and all the proper nutrients. This 5 means percentage in fat grams.
Oh.
They actually make it 5, 10, and 15%, and we feed all of our cats the 5. And so this is kind of what they get. Depending on the size of the animal and how old the animal is and things like that is how much we feed them. And we get weights on these guys at least once a month to determine, with our help of our nutritionists and our veterinary staff, to determine what's a good healthy looking weight and a comfortable weight. And then we try to stay within that range. So when we weigh them, if they're down in weight, we'll increase their diet, and vice versa, they're up in weight, we'll decrease their diet. So that's kind of what they get. So that's that. That's a staple of their diet. Also on one time a week they get rabbit. Also on Tuesdays they get a lamb carcass. It's basically a leg of lamb. Real good, high quality stuff actually.
That's
So-
like you feed me. I've seen your hamburger you got.
Well, you aren't supposed to know that.
So why don't you guys go ahead and follow me? Well, this is Bei Long. He was kind of sleepy today. Bei Long came to us from the Cincinnati Zoo. He was born and raised in captivity. He's actually our oldest and biggest cat. He's about 14 years old now. Tigers can live to be late teens, early 20s. Came to us from Cincinnati with his sister, which is actually 1 litter younger than he is. She's actually in a different room down there. We have 6 Malayan tigers here total. All of our cats are Malayan. We have these 2, the mom or the brother and sister, which were wild or captive born and raised, and then we have a mom and her 2 kids, which are actually out on exhibit right now. The mom was wild caught. Her story was that she went into a village in Malaysia and killed a person.
Oh.
And due to conservation efforts, she came to us, otherwise she was going to be euthanized. Well, she got matched up with a wild-caught male, who his story was that he was found orphaned at about 4 months of age. Mom was killed by poachers, but when he was found, his mouth was so badly infected, his deciduous teeth never fell out, and he just had a lot of problems. Gangrene pockets, his mouth was just a wreck. When he came into captivity, he probably would have died out in the wild because of starvation. He wouldn't have been able to feed himself because his mouth hurt so bad.
Yeah.
But anyhow, when we came into captivity, we have a local dentist, a regular DDS, that does a lot of work on our animals that have dentition problems. Well, what he did is he extracted the upper and lower canines and a few incisors, a couple molars. So like, really this cat doesn't have too many teeth to begin at all, like right now. But so like on carcass day, like tomorrow when we get that lamb carcass, I have to carve the meat off the bone of the carcass itself because we're afraid he can't break down some of the smaller bones. This big bone here that I showed you guys, we give that to him just because it's such a big bone. We're not too concerned about that. But we approximate his age about 5, the wild-caught mom's age about 6, and the kids they were born June 4th of last year, so about 13, 14 months now. Basically, some characteristics about tigers in general is that we have the Malayan tigers here, but there are 6 species, Siberians being the largest, which can get to be about 600-700 pounds. He's about 300 pounds right now, and he's our biggest and oldest. Bengal are the next in size, below the Siberians. Below that, you have the Indo-Chinese. Now, about 2 years ago, we thought all of our tigers were Indo-Chinese tigers. Scientists discovered that there's a genetic difference due to mitochondrial DNA that they had to reclassify and make a new subspecies of tiger, which they came up with the Malayan tiger. All these guys are found kind of in the Malaysian peninsula, where the Indo-Chinese are more northern Malaysia, kind of Burma, that part of the world, or that part of the country there. Below the Malayan, you have the South Chinese, which are actually extinct in the wild, and there's only about 20 left in captivity of the South Chinese. And then below the South Chinese, you have the Sumatran, which are, and all these cats vary in not only size, but also some have thin stripes, some have thick stripes, some have black stripes, some have brown stripes, light brown stripes. Siberians, they're the only Russian cat, where all the rest of them are Asian. The Siberians, their heads are just enormous. Their feet are just huge because they act as like snowshoes because they live in such a colder climate. Just so many different factors. All tigers do have stripes, which are individual to themselves, just like our fingerprints. No two cats have the same set of stripes.
Oh.
And actually, if I were to shave him, he would still have stripes. His stripes are actually on the skin and not just on the coat. The spots you see behind his ears there, why are you so tired? Hey, mister, are you awake? Those spots behind the ears there are called eye spots, and you'll see them mostly on prey animals, deer, gazelles. You'll even see them on butterflies and moths. And what it does is it mimics them actually looking at you. If someone was to come up behind them, the animal or person coming up behind them may think that this animal's looking at them when in actuality they're not. So it just gives that potential prey animal a second more to get away, you know, or have a chance to get away. This is the father to the cubs. He's the one that had all the dentition problems. His name means Awang Verlek, which means the king. He's approximately 5 years old. I mean, this is we go by approximately because they're a wild caught. And so it's a kind of a...
You knew he was going to jump up, huh?
Oh yeah, I know him very well. So, and he's about 275, 280 pounds. He's a little bit smaller than that guy over there, but just as feisty. And so this is actually our maternity room. Like I said, we have 5 different bedrooms over there. This is our maternity side, and this is actually where the room that the mother had to give birth in. Basically, we were able to draw this shade down, close doors. There's a bench in there that actually lays flat up against the wall. We had built a den box in here, and actually the entire floor is heated. And there's a camera that we can watch from the TV. We also do a lot of medical training with these guys. This little cage inside here is what we call a squeeze cage, and what happens is this outer wall kind of comes forward. Now, it doesn't squeeze the animal to where they're suffocating, it just squeezes them to the point where you can manipulate them. All of our cats right now are trained to present their tail to us. Tigers have a very large vein in their tail where we can do blood draws. All we do is basically these 2 doors flip up and latch up into here, up on these chains by this. And then we're able to pull their tail through the bars there. We're able to do blood draws, do vaccinations. The cat that you first saw, these little flaps right here, flap down. We're able to have him present his feet to us. His feet get really chapped up, and we're able to rub lanolin on his feet to soften up his feet. Just a lot of different medical behaviors, and it really helps out in the long run for a couple reasons. One, it allows us as keepers to build a trust factor and kind of a rapport with these animals. And 2, if our veterinary staff just wants a simple blood draw, instead of having to anesthetize the animal, just for a simple blood draw or vaccination or something like that, this is a more safer, more humane, more safer, like an overall safer practice. Yeah. Because I've seen too many animals been knocked down with anesthetic, and then there's complications within their system and they don't wake up.
Yeah.
These cats are just way too valuable to lose just for a simple blood draw. You know, just because they want to test whatever. Because you know we have our CREST department. You know our researchers and stuff always kind of want to find out new things, of course. And so a lot of times they can determine new things by blood.
We can't see where we
There's the lion and the mom and the babies right out
It's
here.
also heated, so in the wintertime they will heat that rock so that it will attract the tigers to come and sit
This is
there.
the
so they
outside.
enjoy feeling. And then plus there's a little pond down in the base
From
here.
where we were
They'll
before
go
and
in
in
there.
the
They
back
actually go
behind the
to
scenes.
bathe.
This is the outside compound where all the public can see.
Oh, it's chewing on a bone up
Yeah,
there.
it's
He said,
Like you say, so drink it.
sitting in this,
Smokers.
And actually, the mother of this one, as he was talking about how she had killed a person in a village, when they...
They got scared a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure it
Boy,
did.
it was me.
And there's another one there too, so that's probably one of the kids, I bet. so hard to tell unless they're standing up. But I think they both kind of look like the same size. And then they both have different personalities. One's very curious, and the other one was kind of, when it was a baby, was kind of like a little mama's boy, you know, and would always stay with mom and always go back with her to check, you know, is it okay if I follow my brother?
They don't look like babies. You know,
No, and they've grown so fast. To me, they have. I mean, they're a little over a year old, but it's been fun to watch them grow up.
That's only a year old.
Yeah, they were born a year ago in June, I believe, was their birthday.
big size.
One time we were at Marine World and the walrus come up to the window just like she said that cat did with the window and scared us half to death. We thought it was coming through the window.
Oh, yeah.
All those whispers and
You're just used to seeing these animals at a distance, and you just don't have any
Not up
concept
in
of
your
how
face.
big they
Yeah, right
are
on
when
the
they're
other
right
side.
next to you.
This is closed, you don't have to worry about that, so you can feel free to lean against that. So you guys come on in. I'll just leave this like this so you can kind of stand where you like. Just make sure you don't get too close to her.
Rick, step
So-
on this disinfectant.
Um,
Ricky, you step on that. That's disinfectant.
Thank
there
you.
you go.
So right here is Chinook, and her sister Shikari. Shikari is right behind me in the tunnelway over here. She might be positioned, you might be able to see her better. But right now I actually
Oh,
have
those
them,
are huge.
I have them
That's
separated
small.
just so we don't have any arguing over who gets to be in the crate. So they do normally get along.
Where do they find carrots and stuff at in the snow?
What's that? Why do they get carrots? Or
Where do they find them in the snow?
where do we find? Oh,
No.
where do we find
No,
carrots in the
why
snow?
not?
No, actually, so I'll explain the diet. Okay, so this is not the carrots are a part of their diet, but it's not what we weigh out. So what they normally get, obviously in the wild, they eat seals. So we're not going to go grab seals. So what we do is we
Yeah.
feed a beef diet. I don't know if you guys saw
Yeah, we did.
with
Yeah.
tigers or anything.
Yeah,
saw
we did.
that. Okay, with Jason probably.
Yeah.
And so they get that same beef diet. Now, they get a pretty large portion, but to get a lot of calories into them, we give them dog chow or cat chow. It's usually dog chow, the hard chow. And then the carrots is our filler food. So if they're really hungry, we're not going to want to fill them up with meat because they're going to get overweight and it's not healthy. So the carrots basically fill them up. So what's funny is that I say we don't weigh them out, but we actually, with these girls, we now kind of regulate how many carrots because Chinook and Shikari, especially Chinook, was just thinking about food and was gaining weight, and we weren't sure why. So what we do is we actually weigh them every week. So you might be able to see it better than you might. But in the back of the bedroom, there's a metal platform on the ground. And what that is our scale. So what we do, if you want to take a step, you can peek over.
Holes in that thing.
Yeah, I
You can see
know.
that behind it. So what we have to do is we basically put these bars under it, and it sets it up as a scale. And what we do is every Saturday we bring the bears one at a time, and through training we ask them to take a seat, which means to sit on the scale. And have all 4 feet planted on that scale. And so we use positive reinforcement, and they get a reward for when they do it correctly. So I'll give you a little example of what it is that we do with training. We're not asking our bears to jump through hoops or anything like that. There's all reasons that we do every behavior. If I ask her to open her mouth, I'll just do this. If I ask her to open her mouth, then that's a good way for us to check her out. If we want to get her to stand up, we can check her belly. We have them, they can stick out their tongue. There's a whole array of things, and so there's a reason. So, are you guys familiar with the clicker?
Yeah, for birds.
What's that?
Training birds, I've
Oh,
seen
really?
it.
Yeah. So you can do with clicker.
With parrots.
What you can do is, yeah, parrots are very smart. I've never trained them
4
for,
years.
I have to say. Like, I'll be
4 to
honest.
6 years of age, I think they say they are most.
Yeah, I mean, if you can start them off
Mentality.
younger, then it'll. Not that you can't teach an old dog.
I mean, their
you can train.
mentality is between 4 to 6 years old.
So basically the basics of the clicker is I'm going to ask her behavior. If she does it correctly, I click, which tells her she did it right. It's called a bridge. And then when she does that right, we follow it up with a reward. The reward is melon. And so that's something sweet that we don't give her all the time because she'll gain too much weight, and so on and so forth. So I do it in small amounts. So if she doesn't do it correctly, I'm not going to click, which would tell her she did it right, obviously. So let's say I ask her to stick out her tongue. She sticks out her tongue, but she does this. And then I click. What have I done? I asked her just to stick out her tongue, and she stuck out her tongue and opened her mouth, and then I click. What have I taught?
You told her to stick it out and then open her mouth.
Either that, or I've taught her to open her mouth, or yeah, I could have taught her a whole new behavior. So my point, which seems really obvious, is we have to be really careful when we click. Because you have to be right on cue of when they've done the correct behavior.
So who's being trained, you or the animal?
Yeah, because they're extremely intelligent. So it's really important because we think we might be training the right thing, but sometimes you may get not lazy, but you may not be paying attention enough because you're so comfortable with it that you might start clicking half a second too late, and you've just reinforced the wrong thing, and then you wonder why that bear is not cooperating and doing the right behavior. So I'll give you a little example. You guys may actually want to scoot and stand right there, just so I'm not looking at my back. Okay, that's pretty good. You can probably see the back. Okay, so and keep in mind, I can't force her to do anything. I mean, you can stand right here too. You should be able to see. So I can't force her to do anything. So if she's really being resistant, then I'm obviously not going to click if she does the wrong behavior. And if she's really being bad, we can use a timeout and just walk away. It's just like a child. You can use the same concepts. It's animal behavior psychology. So you can use a similar concept. So we'll see. It's up to her whether she wants to cooperate. Thanks, sweetie. Come. And also reinforce just the eye contact.
They do it right away too.
Yeah, she's very smart. Target. Down. Down. Girl. And the other thing is, we don't want them to be focusing on our body cues. They should be focusing on what it is that I'm asking, not if I move, she moves. That's it. Down. Good girl. You're so smart. You're so smart there. Now you want to watch your mouth. Okay. Good, open. I have to be really careful right here because this is really important access to us. Open. Good girl! What a good girl! Okay, well done. So that's basically what we did. If you guys want to come back, you can come back in.
Pretty nice.
So let me just put this so she doesn't see that. Obviously, this is our crate that we can use to move our bears, let's say up to the hospital, say for an exam. Now, if it's the first day that we've put this crate in and we've opened the door up, do you think she'll walk in? If it's just the first day we've opened this, would she walk into this crate, being that it's brand new? Yeah, probably not. It might be a little scary. Now, do you think if I put food in to encourage her, and I put the food in the middle of this crate, and it's the first day, and there's food in there, and they're very, very food motivated, would she walk in?
With you here on this side?
In any situation, even if I'm standing right here, do you think she would walk in?
Yeah, you think so? I don't know. It seems like she would if you were.
Might think it's a
She was
trap.
with you enough.
Potentially. So what she might do is she might walk in, she'll only walk in as far as necessary. And so she might walk in as far as her mouth can reach it and keep her feet back behind her, grab it, and then come back, not knowing, because she has to feel comfortable with it.
Yes.
So, and the reason I say this is because anytime we anytime we work with our bears and we ask them to do a certain behavior, even moving from one bedroom to the next, we want them to understand what it is that we're asking. Because otherwise, we want them to feel like we're tricking them, because it's just going to backfire on you. We want there to be some trust. Not that I can trust her or I can stick my hand in there, obviously. So it's a one-way trust. But So she feels comfortable with us, and so when we move them from one bedroom to the next, we ask them a behavior, or there's a command that we actually ask, and that's over. And that means they know when we've asked that to go from here to here, and we use reinforcements like whatever I was using, you know. And so we use our clicker, and so when they move over, they know that they're going to be rewarded for doing the correct thing. So if they wanted to move it to the next, if I wanted to move to the next, sorry.
I need to interrupt your tour, and I apologize for that.
Sorry, that threw me off. Oh yeah, so if I wanted to get her in this crate and to lock her in, what we would do is we would have someone here training them, and they would sit here, and if I wanted to shut the door, we'd have someone behind, and we just reinforce the whole time that they're sitting in this crate and staying there. We reinforce them feeling comfortable. So what we do is we work on jiggling that door, making some scary noise, and they might be nervous at first, but the whole time that they stay here and they're calm, we reinforce it, and so then we can gradually take baby steps and have that door go down. So it's just a process that you have to work with and get them to feel comfortable. But they are extremely intelligent, and if you're not paying attention, they may work ahead of you and manipulate you, and you don't even realize it until it's too late. Do you guys have any questions?
Crazy Bear is trying to pull apart the window frame. We got while we were having the behind the scenes lecture, they came and got the guy because the bear was pulling off all the molding to the window frame here. Talking and stuff. Bear just loves to tear up, I guess. He's trying to figure out how to get out, I imagine. Yeah.
He's pulling
He's pulling at it with his claws and stuff.
and the guy's gonna throw some. And then I over here, one of you sits in somewhere else and
So you can go and take a picture of it.
Okay. Polar bear swimming. Only at San Diego Zoo. This is the naughty bear that's trying to break out by taking the molding off of the window with his claws. Has all the keepers upset. I think they're trying to get him out of there so they can fix the window. He's going after that window again. Pulling the molding off.
I'll be right back.
Having a ball. Few zebras here, the one that was on the commercial.
I don't know.
She's not sure which one of these is on the commercial, but
See if you can recognize him. If he sticks his tongue out at you, then you'll know.
Stick your tongue out now. I want to recognize you. His name was Robert?
Yeah, Robert.
All right.
I bet.
We're 5 miles from the beach. It was still hot.
This is
Beautiful
where they took
giraffe.
us back there.
Back in the back. Well, you'll get to see giraffes tomorrow on your photo caravan.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be very
That's
exciting.
amazing. They come right up to the truck.
Yeah. That's how powerful their heads are too, as they lean down to feed. Because they tell you, don't let them put their head in the truck. You need to be outside the truck because they're just so powerful to swing to their head. Not meaning to hurt you. But here's our little baby. This is Hadari here.
You know they don't lean down, Jody, when they drop their foals. So the baby coming into there has a heck of a drop.
Yeah.
And wherever how high mama is where the baby.
I'm sorry, sir. You can definitely tell who the males are by their horns.
So he's the alpha male.
Yeah. Don't they have, look at the side view of their face. Isn't
Oh,
it
yeah.
beautiful?
It is. I got a nice close-up too. What a set of horns on that thing. Guess that protect them from the lions and tigers, huh?
Yeah.
Or lions, I imagine, where they're from. Yes, there's that panda. There she is. She looks drunk.
So we'll have her probably for another 2 years until she's mature, and her mother will probably be, we usually skip a year before we let them mate again, so she'll be able to mate again in 2007. And their window of time for breeding is 3 days. So a lot of the research that goes on is to find out that opening of time, you know, in which to do it. And we have, our first male that we had, we always had to artificially inseminate the female because he was a little bit older. But this new guy that we've had now for a couple of years, she's trained him how to breed because she's a little older, and he does a good job.
So she's asleep up there, huh?
Yeah, she's sound asleep up there. We have an art program.
Quite a mural
through our education
outside of the panda enclosure.
You want to go ahead? We have an art teacher that has been an art teacher in Balboa Park.
Art teacher.
For like 35 to 40 years. And
On the right-hand side, right after our bus ticket booth, there you'll find the entrance to our new exhibit called Monkey Trail.
We're taking the bus tour. Two-decker bus. I'm sitting on the top.
oh, that's Monkey.
Also on the right-hand side, that's where you'll find our
Lonnie.
flamingos.
Lonnie's sitting over there.
Straight ahead, you'll see the east side of the
Jody?
safari. It begins over by the Children's Zoo. And
Having
also
fun?
straight ahead, you'll see the reptile house. That's also where you'll find the Legaforth Fall Amphitheater.
I don't know what I'll be able to film from up here, but
And that amphitheater over there, that'll be straight ahead. That's where the seal and sea lion shows are.
stopping for pedestrians. Going down this trail right here.
And as I come down the hill here, just a few safety reminders. Continue to keep your hands, arms, head, feet, all those good parts of your body in the bus at all times. You certainly may stand up to take pictures. I hope I give you lots of chances for you to do so. When you do that, continue to keep your feet on the floor of the bus at all times and always hold on to a hand railing. And also
Well,
on
I'm
the
going to take
right-hand
a
side
picture
is
of
the
Jody's
base of the
hands here
Eatery
with
Forest,
those
and you'll
rings.
see through those tree structures many different
Told her
types
somebody's
of
gonna
monkeys.
kidnap
You'll
her or
also see
something.
through that area there.
And
There's
get
a
those
bridge you
rings.
can go
I hope
ahead and
not.
cross and see them from both sides. We do have now 1-year-old.
Beautiful flamingo.
On the left-hand side, we have our African marsh exhibit. African cranes, other exotic birds are on the left. Those flamingos there are called lesser flamingos. And you'll also recognize some of those birds. They're just San Diego birds. We call them volunteers. Apparently they sign themselves up to live in the best place in the city for a bird. Up the hill on the right-hand side, we have Eagle Hill. That's eagle, condor, other birds of prey at the hill on the right. And when you enter the bus depot this morning, you receive that bear.
There's a polar
Bears
bear.
are the largest type of bear. They also have longer necks than other bears.
Nice view of the polar bear.
Under the water.
And you can see, you have a chance to go in that building there on the left and see them from above and below the water. And you can see this one here on the left, playing with their enrichment activities, keeping them healthy and active.
Playing with his ball.
And even though they are Arctic,
Try out for the Lakers one of these days.
California, they do quite well.
He's having fun.
The body fat that you'll find with their buddies in the Arctic, and that water there is kept between 65 and 60 degrees. And he just did his own gulp.
Where'd he go? Look at him go. There he goes.
And even though the fur on that polar bear, it does look like it's white, but every single strand of that hair on that polar bear is not white at all. Every single strand is clear. It's actually hollow and has air inside of it. And the group, the smallest one there, his name is Hodari. He was born in November. When he was born, he was already over 6 feet tall and 140 pounds. And one of these giraffes is also one of the ones that is a little farther in front of us here is also pregnant and expecting a new giraffe any day now. Very exciting.
Well, that was interesting. I
And
didn't
then
know
the
they
gestation
just
period is the
dropped
amount of
them.
time that a giraffe carries a baby before it's born. It's 15 months, so all the moms on the bus, imagine carrying your baby for 400 days. And then, of course, the giraffe has to give birth standing up, so the baby giraffe sits when it's going well. And it does look like it must have more neck bones or vertebrae than other mammals because those necks are so long, but they really don't. They have the same number of bones in their neck as other mammals, which is 7. Only difference is their bones or vertebrae are 1 foot long each. They have much shorter tails than most cats. That's probably to help keep their bodies warmer. Tail, but it's not very long. They do live in the very cold regions of Siberia. Also, take a look at their paws and their feet. They're
I lost him.
You'll see not only is he black, he also has black spots.
Remember the last time we got him real good?
Yeah.
Real close.
Yeah, I
And real
remember
good
that.
close up.
To our right-hand side here in this large aviary, this is where you'll find our great hornbill. They have these enormous yellow beaks, also make more enormous. His name is Spanky.
Whoa, big bear.
And of course the Latin lioness.
Lion?
They sleep about 20 hours a day. In the wild, they can usually guarantee getting food only about once a week. Elephants here, 2 African, 1 Asian.
That side? See that? Oh, look at that elephant. What an elephant doing? What's an elephant doing? Take a nap?
No.
Then what? Ah, is that right? So what is this? What is this? The
And
brown
before
one?
we get to those elephants on the left-hand side here, those animals all the time get mistaken for llamas, but they're not llamas at all. They're called guanacos.
Yeah, llama. Yeah, llama looks like a deer. Llama. Oh, elephant. Elephant's coming. Oh, the elephant. Big elephant.
And also on the left-hand side, if you look on the very left corner there, she didn't even make it out here this morning. That's a Malayan tapir. Usually we'll find that one in the pool of water there. The African elephant is the large one with the trunk way up high in the air. The Asian ones are just much smaller. Those are all elephants. They also have those feet. They're much larger ears.
You see elephant? Oh, good.
And all of them are females in there, and all of them do have tusks. You just can't see the Asian female tusks. They're very small.
Elephant and Dumbo.
That African elephant in there weighs about 10,000
Yeah, you know
pounds.
that Dumbo have the big ears?
They need those. Now, at the Wild Animal Park, we have many different breeding programs for endangered animals. The Indian rhinoceros breeding program is one of our most successful in the world. And on the left-hand side, this is the product of that successful program. This Indian rhinoceros is named Graham. He's doing what we all would like to do on a lazy summer day, is take a nap in the pool.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? What color are you? How about that? Okay, now we're on. That's excellent. Well, thank you. This is a new behavior that we're working on. And all I need to do to have your great cooperation is to sit there and give Spin Olaf, your Captain Recycler, a big applause if he does his stuff right. So what we are trying to teach people is that recycling is very important and that it's so easy, even a dog can do it, right? Sven, hi. Isn't that right? 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 Yeah, okay, good boy. Great job. You know, you can see on this recycling bin, there's 3 different arrows. The first arrow is recycling that we can do at home. Curbside recycling, taking your recycling items to the recycling center at the landfill and getting money for them, which is pretty nice. The second arrow is going to be when the manufacturers take those products that we recycle and make them into new products. And the third arrow there is when we buy products made from recycled materials, which completes the circle. And all those things are really useful and help conserve our natural resources, right, Sven? Right? 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 No, that's not it. Come over here. Good boy. Well, we're going to see if Sven can show you some recycling. Good boy! Good boy, Sven. How about cans? That was plastic right there. Oh, good boy! Very nice. And for our last, our favorite one. Come here, Sven. Sit. Good boy. Our very favorite one is paper. And you know what? There's an awful lot of paper that could be recycled. Only about 28% of what we throw away could be recycled. Very good, boys, Sven. Yes, I didn't ask you quite to do it, but you're so eager to do that. We're going to try one time. Come on around here. Spinny. Good boy. Sit. Stay there. Recycle. Oh, good boy. You are so good. Okay, and thanks to Spin Olaf, we now know we ate that. Hi, everybody. Hey, thanks for coming to the show. I'd like to introduce my fellow trainers as they come out. It looks like Susan is coming, Christina, and Heidi. Well, on behalf of myself and the trainers here at Hunt Amphitheater, we'd like to take a moment to honor and recognize the brave men and women of our armed forces for serving and protecting our country. Thank you so much. Thanks, girls. Use your imagination. Because the trainer's back there staring at the board saying, what animal am I supposed to be doing? And he's going to make his way right out here on stage, I know, like a bullet. He loves to run. He's big. Here he comes now! Keenan Arctic Wolf! Isn't he gorgeous? Talk about a big dog. He and Sven Olaf, Captain Recycler, are really good buddies. They go through walks throughout the zoo in the morning. If you're ever here and you get to take advantage of that, you might see us, we do a whole lap around the entire zoo because with legs like that, we really need to exercise them. Okay, he's an Arctic wolf. He's big and he is not so bad. He's actually an angel. If he could, he would have wings on his back. In general, are endangered of extinction. And what that means is their numbers are dropping faster than their growth. That's when they can reproduce, they're on the decline. Scientists give them about 15 years to turn that future around. Otherwise, the next stage is extinction, like the dinosaurs. So when they're endangered is when we really want to help them. The Arctic wolf, however, is not in that status. Luckily for them and for us, because we enjoy his company so much, they're not an endangered species at all. The benefit that this animal has, if people like us don't want to live where they come from, they get 22 degrees below zero in the summer. They go for weeks without sunlight and actually months without sunlight and weeks without eating. They literally, when they make a kill, will consume everything, the hair, the antlers, the bones, the entire critter, because they just don't get to eat that often. They want to make darn sure that
that they're economical and that they're going to get something in their belly. So as a result, when they go hunting, they will do a cooperative hunt. Now who knows what a group of wolves... Changing in the middle because he wanted to make this pack seem larger, and that way any kind of competition around the area would know that there wasn't just 2, it would be 20. Also, the very end was a puppy yap, which is so cute. Even though he's 3, he still likes to talk like that. I think it's because we started, so he finishes it. Well, that's one way to communicate within the pack, is to coordinate a hunt. A second way is to, you've all heard of that legend or the lore, don't trust them, that's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is absolutely true. They will disguise themselves by rubbing and rolling, it's called a scent roll, and masking their own scent with exterior items in the area. Today we've got some orange,
we've for having him in our area here. Now, a lot of times when the serval comes out, people say, oh, a baby cheetah. Well, this is not a baby cheetah. He is full grown. The full-grown adult male. He weighs about 35 pounds, as a matter of fact. And that's about as big as he's going to get. Now, a cheetah weighs in at about 105 pounds for a female, maybe even more for a male. So the difference between a serval and a cheetah, about 70 pounds. That's the difference. That's one of the differences, that is. Now, cheetahs, as you know, are built for speed, but these servals are actually built for jumping. They are from the grasslands of Africa. They have those really long legs to be able to stand up above the grass and look for little rodents. And when they find something with their ears, they can hear him, and then they'll jump right up into the air and catch him. Now, they'll also jump 10 to 12 feet straight up into the air to catch birds, and as you can see, they are not afraid of going in the water to chase after fish. Now, we don't have fish. He's got a couple pieces of egg white. I dropped in a piece of papaya, which is floating away now, but believe it or not, he does actually like papaya. Let's see if we can get that back here, Chuma. Here it is. Well, I don't know.
Down in South Dakota, he was out in his home minding his own business when the dog kidnapped him. What we think happened is the mother badger was changing her household, was taking the family members one by one when this dog intercepted at the right time. Because his eyes hadn't been opened up yet, so when the dog brought him home, of course he didn't put up much of a fight, and the family that owned the dog realized that he would still be nursing, so they got on the internet and found a formula that they could put in a bottle, gave it to him every 2 hours. But that meant they had to really watch him around the clock. He slept in bed with them at night, and during the day, the father took him to work with them in a box. Well, he was a Superior Court judge, so you could do things like that. Recess and go give his badger a bottle. At any rate, the badger grew up like a dog. He grew up with a full run of the house. Everybody trusted him, and it worked mostly until he started to accelerate in a behavior that he's really well known for. He gets good at it by practicing, and the behavior is digging. They can dig so fast, they can bury themselves within a minute flat. That's faster than a man can dig with a shovel. Oh goodness, let me show you what he has to work with. You see these front claws? He excavates the soil with those and then pushes away with the back feet. So what ends up happening is he will live in the same environment as a bear, sometimes even a grizzly bear. Since they occupy the same habitat, occasionally they can cross paths. Well, when that happens, there's sometimes a standoff where the badger is going to stand its ground and so is the bear. Well, they continue this confrontation, but if the bear really pushes the issue, the badger always has a way out, and that's to turn around, run away, and dig himself underground before the bear has a chance to nip at him. So being a good digger means you practice a lot, and on the Perry household, one day, mind you, he dug a hole in the bathroom down into the basement. Got a corner of that tile off the wall, either molding the wrinkle on, got the corner of the tile up, got down to the wood. It wasn't a very big hole, it was about this big, but they enlarged it, turned it into a laundry chute, gave us a phone call. We were really happy to get that call because we've never worked with the beach. Check that out. Say goodbye to Orfar Badger.
Give her a minute to come on out And as she comes out here, take a really close look at her body. That head and the rest of her body. We're going to take a close look, but before we do that, I'm going to tell you a little story about Sven and Gru here. They really do live together all the time. They are buddies. They were introduced when Gru was 3 months old and Sven was 6 months old. So Sven was introduced as the dominant dog, kind of big dog. So she's full grown now. Who do you think is dominant? What do you think? Who do you think is dominant? Think the cheetah's dominant? She's pretty big. It's the dog. We actually have to separate them when we feed them, or he'll steal her food. He doesn't know that he's not a cheetah, I don't think. So they do get along really well. At first it was a little bit of cat and dog behavior, but after they came in on what, second night maybe, she was using him as a big fluffy blonde doggy pillow. So they get along really well. And what Sven does is he helps her to know that it's okay to be relaxed, and he helps us with a little bit of our training behaviors, and they're buddies. So when you have a little bit more of a support system, it's a little bit easier to be brave. So this is the San Diego Goose version of cats and dogs. As she's walking around down there, let's take a good look at her, being a beautiful cheetah that she is. So what are cheetahs? They can get up to 70 miles per hour. They are very, very fast land mammals. But I have a question for you. If a cheetah and a horse were in a 2-mile race, who would win? The horse, you're right. Although these animals, the cheetahs are very